Welcome, Evolvers! Breakups are tough, like really tough. It's like trying to parallel park in a tiny spot with someone honking behind you. Stressful. But just like you eventually get out of that parking spot, you will get through this breakup. And maybe even find a better spot next time. Today we're talking about no contact and how to tell if your ex is moving on. Because let's face it, sometimes a little closure is like finding a $20 bill in your pocket. It just makes you feel good. Before we dive into today's topic, please stop and like the video and subscribe. By doing so, you'll be helping the algorithm push this content out to more people who may be going through a similar situation and need to see this video. Spread the love and all that jazz. So, you've heard of no contact, right? It's not just some trendy dating term, it's actually a really powerful tool for healing and moving on. Think of it like this. You know that delicious tub of ice cream in your freezer that you're not supposed to eat? Going no contact is like giving yourself permission to close the freezer door, walk away, and maybe even join a Zumba class. Okay, maybe not Zumba, but you get the point. No contact means absolutely no contact with your ex. No calls, no texts, no carrier pigeons, no smoke signals, nothing. And yes, that includes social media stalking. I know it's tempting, but trust me, your mental health will thank you. When you're constantly checking up on your ex, you're basically picking at a scab and preventing it from healing. No contact allows you to create space from all the emotional turmoil and focus on the most important person in your life, you. It's like when you're on an airplane and they tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. You gotta take care of yourself first. No contact is your oxygen mask. Plus, let's be honest, sometimes silence speaks volumes. By not reaching out, you're sending a powerful message that you're strong, independent, and perfectly capable of living your best life without them. Go you. Now I know what you're thinking. Is no contact really necessary? And the answer is, it depends. Every relationship is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But if you're finding it hard to move on, if you're constantly checking their social media, or if you're still holding on to hope of getting back together, then no contact might be just what the doctor ordered. Remember, no contact isn't about punishing your ex or playing games. It's about giving yourself the time and space you need to heal, grow, and move on. It's about reclaiming your power and choosing happiness. And who knows, maybe after some time apart, you'll realize that you're better off without them. And that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. Okay, so you've been diligently practicing no contact, and you're starting to feel a little more like yourself again. But now you're curious. Is your ex moving on? Are they out there living their best life while you're at home perfecting your sourdough bread recipe? Although, let's be real, that sourdough is looking pretty amazing. Well, my friend, there are a few telltale signs that your ex might be moving on. And no, it doesn't necessarily involve them winning the lottery and moving to a tropical island with their new supermodel partner. Although, wouldn't that be something? One of the biggest signs is that they've stopped reaching out. No more accidental texts, no more late-night calls, no more carrier pigeons. Seriously, what's with the pigeons? If they've gone completely radio silent, it's a good indication that they're trying to move on. Another sign is that they're actively pursuing new hobbies, interests, or even relationships. Maybe they've taken up pottery, joined a book club, or started dating someone who looks suspiciously like a young Meryl Streep. Hey, it could happen. Now, before you go down the rabbit hole of social media stalking, remember, we talked about this, remember that it's important to focus on your own journey. Just because they're moving on doesn't mean you're not worthy of love and happiness. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's like when you're at a buffet and you see someone else with a plate full of delicious food. You don't suddenly feel bad about your own plate, do you? No. You enjoy your own food and let them enjoy theirs. The same goes for relationships. Chapter 3. Let's be real. Seeing your ex move on can be tough. It's like accidentally stepping on a Lego. It hurts. You might feel a wave of emotions wash over you. Sadness, anger, jealousy, confusion, maybe even a little bit of relief. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. It's important to acknowledge your feelings and allow yourself to grieve the loss of the relationship. Don't try to bottle up your emotions or pretend that you're not affected by it. Let it all out. Have a good cry, scream into a pillow, write a strongly worded letter, and then burn it. Safely, of course. Remember, you're not weak or pathetic for feeling this way. It's a natural part of the healing process. Breakups are hard, and it takes time to move on. Give yourself permission to feel all the feels. Now, while it's important to acknowledge your emotions, it's also important to remember that your ex moving on is not a reflection of your worth. It doesn't mean you're not good enough or that you'll never find love again. It just means that this particular relationship wasn't meant to be. And that's okay. Think of it like this. You know those shoes that you really wanted, but they didn't have your size? It was disappointing, sure, but it didn't mean you weren't worthy of having fabulous shoes. It just meant you had to keep looking for the perfect pair. And you know what? You eventually found them, and they were even better than you imagined. Chapter 4. Okay, so you're on this journey of healing and moving on, but let's be honest, it's not always a smooth ride. It's more like a roller coaster with its ups and downs, twists and turns. One minute you're feeling confident and strong, and the next minute you're curled up on the couch, watching rom-coms and questioning all your life choices. But fear not, my friend, because I'm here to tell you that it's all part of the process. And just like on a roller coaster, it's important to buckle up, hold on tight, and enjoy the ride as much as you can. One of the best ways to navigate this emotional roller coaster is to focus on self-care. What makes you feel good? What brings you joy? Is it taking a long bath, reading a good book, going for a run, spending time with loved ones? Or maybe even perfecting that sourdough recipe? Seriously, send me some of that bread. Make time for the things that make you happy and help you feel more like yourself. Treat yourself with kindness and compassion. You deserve it. Another important tip is to avoid comparing yourself to your ex's new life. It's easy to fall into the trap of social media, stalking and comparing your highlight reel to their highlight reel, but it's not a fair comparison. Remember, you're only seeing a curated version of their life, not the whole picture. It's like comparing your blooper reel to someone else's finished movie. Of course, theirs is going to look more glamorous and exciting. But that doesn't mean your life isn't just as amazing in its own way. And finally, don't be afraid to lean on your support system. Talk to your friends, family, therapist, or anyone else who makes you feel safe and supported. Let them know what you're going through and how they can help. Sometimes, just talking about your feelings can make a world of difference. Chapter 5. Congratulations, my friend. You've made it to the final chapter. You've been through a lot, but you've come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever life throws your way. You've learned the importance of self-love, self-care, and setting boundaries. You've realized that you are worthy of love and happiness, regardless of your relationship status. Now, I know it might not feel like it right now, but the future is bright, and it's full of possibilities. This breakup, as painful as it was just a chapter in your story. It doesn't define you. In fact, it can be a valuable learning experience that helps you grow and become the best version of yourself. Think of it like this. Remember that time you tripped and fell in public? It was embarrassing at the moment, but you got back up, dusted yourself off, and kept going. And you know what? You probably even laughed about it later. This breakup is no different. It might sting right now, but eventually you'll look back and see it as a stepping stone on your path to something even greater. So go out there and live your best life. Pursue your passions, try new things, travel to new places, meet new people, or don't if that's not your thing. The world is your oyster. And remember, you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Well, there you have it, Evolvers. No contact and moving on from a breakup. We covered it all. Remember, you are strong, you are worthy, and you are loved. And if you ever need a reminder, just come back and watch this video again. We'll be here, with open arms and maybe even some virtual cookies. Now, I want to hear from you. Share your experiences with no contact and moving on in the comments below. Have you ever tried it? Did it work for you? What advice would you give to others going through a breakup? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more relationship advice, funny stories, and maybe even a dance break or two. Until next time, stay strong, stay positive, and keep on evolving.